All right, forget taking to the streets. Unions are now taking to your inbox as the National Labor Relations Board just ruled that unions can go ahead and use your email to try and organize you and your friends. Democratic strategist Nomiki Konst says it is about time. Tracy Burns from our sister Fox Business Network says this is a waste of time. So you don't like it, Tracy?
I think it's ridiculous. I mean, the whole part of this case came down because the first time they tried to organize members, they blamed their lack of email for getting them on board. So now we take this case up again. First of all, can anybody say Sony? Why would they even want to be on email? They're just going to be hacked anyway. Too much information out there, and it's intrusive.
No,
I don't want you.
Touched a sensitive subject.
I don't want you in my email life. That's just unfair to workers.
No.
Well, I don't think it's about accessing emails. I think it's giving workers the rights that they already have and modernizing this rule that already existed for 2014. You know, previously, the excuse was not because they wanted to use the email, there weren't enough people, because people weren't using email that often.
Well, reach them at home.
Well, yeah.
Sure. No, and I totally agree with you. But the interesting thing about this is, say, you're emailing Tracy and you're talking about, are you working Friday? Yes, I'm working Friday. Guess what? That used to be against the rules. Now, it's allowed. So it's pretty simple.
But my point is, email them at home.
Well,
if this is a union trying to hustle you.
Well, it's actually not. So unions are not addressing this issue. This is about workers communicating with other workers. So your big company...
Isn't the National Labor Relations Board trying to force that?
Well, no, they're actually opening it up, giving them the freedom.
What do you make of that,
But they're giving the unions the opportunity, or they're saying the unions have access now to something that a company owns. It is a company email. Do they have access to the company car now, too? Do they have access to the cafeteria? I mean, honestly, where do we draw the line here? If we allow them in like this, it is not their right. And the best is you can't define, when do we stop? Oh, it's only after hours. Well,
can't the company say you can't read non-business stuff at work?
They absolutely can, but define that. When are you not at work anymore?
Well, sending racial epithets back and forth at Sony. What might be a start.
That would be a wonderful start. Right. But the rule does say that companies do have the right to enforce it and say, all right, well, this is what operating the emails during work time is not appropriate, or that you can't communicate with these outside forces, or you just can't talk about these issues. They have the right to do so.
You know what this is about, Neil? Private sector union membership is down to 6.7%. They, at this point, are going to do anything. They're going to start knocking on your door probably soon enough because they are so desperate for membership. They can't hold on. We have government employees that are out of work, so therefore the overall union membership is only down to like 11% now, and they're struggling. They barely have a say in Washington anymore, so what better than to send pictures through email?
That's not the union's fault, though.
But we don't need
Scott Walker's
unions.
fault. Scott Walker.
Wait a minute. If the unions had a compelling story to tell, they'd be joining up people left and right.
And they are. Actually, union membership has gone up in certain states. In certain states, it's restricted access. There are some states that have put a lot more pressure on unions to, as we know what's going on in Wisconsin and other states, and there are right-to-work states that are limiting access to unions to...
Well, no. Scott is just saying, as governor there, and he's going to be our guest next week, he's saying, well, let them decide whether they want to or not. Don't just force it on them.
Well, I think part of this is also there's a war on unions. So the message is...
This isn't like the war on women, is it? Well, you guys are always focused on wars.
It's a much bigger war.
Really?
No wars. No wars. Let's be clear. These right-to-work states are doing so much better in the economy, financially. These states are in better places because they are right to work. So to say that the right to work has hurt the jobs,
well, it's great for the businesses. It's great for Walmart, but small business owners have, in right to work states, there are more big businesses coming in. There are fewer small businesses being able to maintain their small businesses, and everyday workers are getting their wages cut.
New York has the highest percentage of union workers. This is the hardest place in the world to work. So why would you want more unions here?
It protects labor.
All right, guys, I wish we had more time. Blessedly, we don't. We save time by you guys talking over one another, which helps me immensely. Seriously, thank you both. If you do want to catch Tracy on our sister Fox Business Network, you just log on to foxbusiness.com, channel finder, and a pop-up comes of her in which she says, you're at the wrong channel. It is what you got to do.